Today, let's look into consolidation method in case of branch. What do you mean by consolidation method? Under consolidation method, the branch is not maintaining its profit and loss account and balance sheet. It is not preparing its profit and loss account and balance sheet. So, consolidation method is a method where no separate P&L and balance sheet to be prepared in case of branches. In these circumstances, what will be the journal entries? Let me see one by one. In the books of branch, what will be the journal entries? First of all, we have to transfer all the assets and expenses and liabilities and incomes to the head office account. So, the first entry will be for the transfer of assets and expenses. So, all assets and expenses of a particular branch are to be transferred to the head office account. So, what will be the journal entries in the branch books? Branch books, head office, assets, individual assets and the expenses are to be debited. Already it has been in the debit. Now we have to transfer it. Now transfer it means head office should be debited and then relevant individual assets should be credited and then individual expenses should be credited. So the first of all, the first entry is to be made, the transfer of assets and expenses. While transferring the assets and expenses, the entry will be in the branch book, head office account data to individual assets and individual expenses account. And then next, the transfer of liabilities and income. If we are transferring the liabilities and income, what will be the journal entry in the books of branch? Actually, liability and income will be in the credit. But now we have to transfer it. So it should be debited in the branch books. So individual liability account data, individual income account data to head office because we are transferring to head office. So these two important points you have to remember always. And then for the same type of transaction, what will be the journal entries in the books of head office? In the books of head office, if the assets and the expenses are transferred from the branch to head office, what will be the journal entries in the head office book? So here the assets will be belonging to head office account. So all assets should be debited, all expenses should be debited. So credit the giver, branch is the giver. So individual assets account data, individual expenses account data to branch account. This is the first entry to be made. And then second entry, transfer of liability. Transfer of liability. Actually, now these are the liability of head office account because we are transferring the liability from branch to head office. So we are maintaining the books, we are making entries in the books of head office. So it is our liability now. So branch should be debited and the liability should be credited. Individual liability should be credited, individual income should be credited. So the journal entry will be branch account data to individual liability and individual income. And then what will be the effect at the end of the last year? End of the year. If you are making these two entries, what will be the effect? For example, if the assets total to 10 lakhs rupees or liabilities will be total coming around rupees 8 lakhs. So there will be a difference. Difference will be 2 lakhs. So for that we have to make one entry at the end of the year. Individual assets account data to individual liabilities account. If there is any difference, it should be credited to head office account. For example, assets 10 lakhs, liabilities 8 lakhs, 2 lakhs will be the difference. So, individual assets account data 10 lakhs, individual liabilities account data 8 lakhs, to head office account, this is a balancing figure, rupees 2 lakhs. So, these are the main entries we have to bear in mind. And then while preparing branch balance sheet, in branch balance sheet, head office account will be shown as capital account. In branch balance sheet, head office account will be shown as a capital account. In head office balance sheet, the balance in branch account will be shown as an advance to branch. So these are the main points we have to bear in mind. After that, we have to solve one important problem based on. Today, let me solve one problem in independent branch. This question has been asked in the exam November 2004 and November 2011. Let me read the question first. Krishna Limited as a branch that closes its books of account every year on 31st March. This is an independent branch which maintains comprehensive books of accounts for recording their transactions. You are required to show journal entries in the books of the branch for March 31st to rectify or adjust the following. So you have been requested to make journal entries or rectification entries. If any entries has been already made, you have to rectify. If it is wrongly made, you have to rectify. What are the transactions that we have to, for which we have to make journal entries? The first one, the head office allocates rupees 1,35,000 to the branch as head office expenses, which have not been recorded by the branch. Please listen. Head office allocates 1,35,000 rupees. There is it is a branch expenses. Now it has been allocated by head office. So as far as the branch is concerned, this is the expenses of the branch, which have not been recorded by the branch so far. So no entry has been made so far. So what will be the journal entry? The expenses belong to the branches. So in the head office book, journal entries in the books of branch account, what will be the journal entry? Expenses account debtor to head office. This is the first entry we have to make. And then second transaction, depreciation of branch fixed assets whose accounts are kept by head office in its books, not recorded in the branch books, rupees 1,15,000. There were two types of, whether it has been purchased, whether the fixed assets maintained in the branches or it is not maintained in the branches and it has been maintained in the head office. So what are the entries will be, we have already seen. Here the depreciation of branch fixed assets, actually whose accounts are kept by head office. Actually all the assets are maintained by the head office only. So what will be the entry? The depreciation not yet recorded in the branch book, rupees 1,15,000 rupees. So now we have to make an entry for depreciation. So depreciation account debtor, as the books are maintained, fixed assets are maintained in the head office. So head office should be credited. So depreciation account debtor to head office, this is an entry to be passed in the books of branch. And then third transaction, branch paid rupees 1,40,000 as salary to an official from head office on a visit to branch and debited the amount to its salary. Actually only the expenses paid in respect of salary only to the persons who are working in the branches. But here it is an official from head office. They have to visit periodically to the branch, for which some amount has been paid by the branch. But in the books of branch, they have mentioned salary account. Only if the salary is paid to the employees of the branch, then it will be treating as a salary account. So it is wrongly entered into a salary account. So we have to rectify this entry. How to rectify? Salary wrongly we have debited. In order to cancel this debit entry, we have to pass one credit entry. So salary account should be credited in the branch book. And then which one to be debited? Because head office. So head office, only for head office we have paid. So head office account debtor to salaries account. This is the answer for question point number 3. And then fourth point, head office collected rupees 1,30,000 directly from a branch customer on behalf of the branch. For example, the sales has been effected in the branch. So that amount to be collected from the branch customers only by the branch. But sometimes the head office will collect that amount. If they collect here, the head office collected 1,30,000 rupees directly from the head office, from the branch customer on behalf of branch. But it has not been intimated to the branch. Now the branch learns about it. That means what? The amount actually it is ought to be collected by the branch, but it was collected by the head office. So now what will be the entry? Head office account should be debited because debit the receiver. Head office account debtor who has given our customer, our debtor has given that amount, because actually they have to give to the branch. So in the books of branch, head office should be debited and debtor's account should be credited. Understand? And then question number 5. It is learned that remittance of rupees 1,50,000 sent by the branch has not been received by the head office till date. Actually, one payment has been made by the branch. For that, we would have entered, we would have recorded the entry. But it has not been received head office. But we don't care about that. We had paid. We had already entered. There will be no entry in the case of branch book. And then question point number 6. The branch incurred advertisement expenses of rupees 30,000 on behalf of another branch. In the last class, we have seen if any payment made by one branch to another branch, but the payment ought to be made, is supposed to be made only by the head office. So here, what will be the journal entry? Head office account. On behalf of head office, we are making payment. It is not advertisement expenses for our branch. It is advertisement expenses are for some other branch. So we are making payment. So head office should be debited because on behalf of head office we are paying. So head office account data to cash, being the expenditure on account of other branches recorded in another book. See, this is narration. Okay. Let's solve the question. The first of all, the expenses allocated by head office now recorded in branch book. Actually, the expenses belonging to the branch, it has been allocated by head office. So, in the branch book, we have to treat it as own expenses, own branch expenses. So, expenses should be debited. Debit all expenses. That means debit the expenses. Expenses account data to head office. It was already met by head office. So, credit the giver. So, expenses account data to head office. This is the first journal entry. Narration, expenses allocated by head office now recorded in branch book. Is enough. And then depreciation. Depreciation for assets. Actually, all branch assets are maintained in the head office book only. If head office book maintains all assets account, branch assets account, then what will be the journal entries in the books of head office and then in the branch office we have already seen in the last class. So here the depreciation, we have to depreciate, the depreciation should be debited in the case of branch account, but it has to be, head office should be credited. Depreciation account data to head office account. This is another entry. Depreciation on branch assets now provided for. Okay. And then point number 3, some salary. Actually, salary paid to the head office inspector, but it has been recorded in the salaries account. So we have to rectify the entry. In branch account, in branch books, salary account was debited already. So we have to reverse that salary account. If we reverse the salary account, we have to credit the salary account. So head office should be debited because for head office we have paid. So head office account data, 2 salaries, 1,40,000, 1,40,000. So salary paid on behalf of head office to head office inspector. This is the rectification entry. Okay. Entry, the collections from sundry debtors. Actually, the collections, as far as the branch is concerned, if there is a credit sale, the amount has to be collected only from the sundry debtors by the branch. But instead of collecting the amount from the sundry debtors, the head office collected the amount from the sundry debtors. So what will be the journal entries in the books of branch? Debit the receiver. Head office account data, because head office received that amount on behalf of branch. So head office account data, who has given that amount? Either customer or debtors to branch debtors account. So head office account data to debtors. What will be the narration? Being the amount, being the adjustment of collections from branch debtors. It's enough. And then another entry, the amount already has been sent rupees to the extent of rupees 1,50,000 rupees sent by the branch to the head office, but it is in transit. It has head office has not yet received. We don't care about it. We have paid that amount. On that particular date, we would have entered the entry. Recorded that entry. So no need of entry. So there will be no entry in the case of 5th transaction. And then 6th transaction. So the expenditure on account of other branches. Other branches means some advertisement expenses, but the expenses belonging to other branches, but it has been made out by our branch. So what will be the journal entry in our branch book? So if any expenditure on other branches, it is supposed to be made out of head office account. So we have to debit the head office account. Only for head office we are meeting some expenses belonging to other branches. So head office should be debited, and then what is going out? Cash. So cash will be credited. Head office account data to cash. Being expenditure on account of other branch recorded in books. It's enough.